Alright, hey folks, Nathan here. This is my YouTube channel. You'll find lots of Star Wars based content on here. Recently some more episodes of Nate's favorite deck building games, but what we want to do this time is another of those PlayStation VR Let's Plays. I always try to do this when I pick up a new PlayStation game, or excuse me, a PlayStation VR game specifically, so that I can take a look at it, give you a sense of whether or not I think it's worth the money, and so on and so on. So this time we're checking out Preta, Vendetta Rising. This is one you may have heard of as a PC game that's available for instance, the Vive. There is one huge difference to start with before we even start playing the game here, though, and that is that the Steam version for PC can be played either in VR or outside of VR. For PlayStation, it is only playable in VR. You try to turn it on without the VR headset, and it's just going to constantly give you a warning to put the headset on, and nothing else will happen, okay? So it is VR only. Vendetta Rising, VR. It is VR only for PlayStation. This is our menu screen. Nice atmosphere. It's got a feeling to start with sort of like Moss or Wayward Sky. So you're sort of over the battlefield. The characters themselves vary in size depending on the camera angle that you choose, but it's all kind of happening around you. And in this case, you're staying a certain distance away from your character generally, so you're moving with the camera. So there is some movement that's happening, but it's more based on camera placement than it is like a first-person view, although there is a first-person option. So let's take a look. They start out with just this little news blurb about if you're having issues with the language. I have actually started and played through a few quick runs. It is a very grindy game. This is a dungeon crawler kind of Diablo-esque feeling game that has a whole lot of grinding to it. Lots of replaying levels for crafting materials to level your character, to upgrade armor and so forth. Now I've got blink turning, you'll notice here, turned on for turning the camera. You can make that smooth. I would still recommend blink turning if you're prone to simulation sickness. I just tend to, at this point, to prefer blink turning for VR just in general. There are three characters that you can choose from. This is sort of our just general hub area. But you notice that I'm just kind of staying behind her. When we get into an actual level, I'll show you how the camera angles change. But you can go up to your little monument-looking thing here, and this will let you see the different types. I've only played with the one character so far. I like the weapon she has. It's like a whip sword kind of thing. So it's basically like a sword that, you know, when swung, it slings out and slashes the crap out of things. And to answer the question, I'm assuming you're asking about the previous comment. I have, but I haven't had a chance to actually look at the Laserdisc to make the comparison. It is the, the Laserdisc is the pre-2001 version of the film, though. So you're not going to have anything that you would see on DVD or Blu-ray changes. In particular, the DVD changes that were some of the more substantial ones. So she's still rank 0.01, but we also have this weird little character here, the little kid that like has the sort of distance attack type things. And then we've got big dude with enormous friggin' sword. Okay. But I've started playing, like I said, as Alicia. So it's Alicia, Reyna, and Marcus. I went with Alicia because she was fairly balanced with my play style to start with, right? And this is actually not her starting gear. This is one step up in terms of armor and weapon, if I remember correctly. Just one step. The story itself's a little trippy to start with. It's not a game you're necessarily going to play for the story. It's if you like the dungeon crawler grind.
You look tired.
You look tired. This guy that basically sounds like he should be Scorpion or Sub-Zero or Reptile from Mortal Kombat in the way that his face looks in the mask, is the guy that handles all your skill stuff. Hello, XZ. So you have basically 3 different loadouts you can use, and on each loadout you can distribute your skill points a little bit differently across 3 different abilities. So we have Tactical Step, Wipeout, and Shadow Step are her 3 main abilities. You'll see when we actually start running through. But you can look at the details of it, but you can also then look at how the skill tree develops. There's a lot of steps to the skill tree. It's going to take you a while to get through them all. It is a fairly long, fairly grindy game, but it's in little chunks. Like, most levels will last you 7 minutes or less, right? So it's going to be something you digest in quick little chunks every now and then, and slowly your character grows. This is going to be where you take care of your equipment, right? So we've got, in my case, I've got an uncommon weapon. You start out with the common weapon here, that sword. Then you got flesh biters, what I'm using now. She starts out with basically a sword. You got a sword, an earring, a necklace, a ring on one hand, a ring on the other hand, a belt, another earring, obviously if it's earrings there'll be 2, and then a costume. So I've got a secondary costume here. This is the one that she started out with. And then I haven't been able to upgrade any of the other stuff yet, right? Upgrading is something I'll show you because that happens at another menu. You also have these potions. Now, the cool thing about the potions is that they're not consumables in the grand scheme of things. So once you've once you've found a recipe for a potion and you've got all the different gear, bits and pieces you need to actually craft it, it is a permanent thing. And it shows up here, whether it's a weapon or in this case, a potion. It shows up on your screen within this menu. And then if it's a potion, you actually set it up to be on one of your 4 face buttons, so that when you're in the game and you're playing, you hold down L1 and hit one of these, and it's going to use whatever that is. And there's a limited amount of times, like, you know how it says for the one with the X there, it has ×5, right? I can use that 5 times in a round or in a mission, but that doesn't just consume it completely. It's just that I can only use it 5 times in that mission. And then when I play the mission again, I can use it 5 more times. And play another mission, I can do it 5 more times. They're not consumables that just disappear, which is nice. I mean, it lets you sort of build a repertoire of the best support material as possible.
Your presence bothers me.
This guy, this annoyed guy, this is the crafting guy. This is where you're going to spend a lot of time. Your weapon, the earrings, the rings, the necklace, the belt, and potions and whatnot all have recipes, and different missions will drop recipes. Once you have the recipe, you can craft the item if you have the right stuff for it. And the stuff for it, you're going to get from your missions. So let's say I wanted to do this elixir of hornet. I don't have anything that I can really use for it at this point, but let's say I want to find, okay, well, where am I going to find the elixir of hornet tool that I need, because it's one of the ingredients I'm going to need 4 of, so where can I find that? If there are any quests that you have unlocked that actually are where you could find that, it would show up down here. Now this, I'm not nearly far enough in the game to go after any of those, but like maybe health potion. Oh, maybe not. I already did one of the health potions. What is one of these that we've already seen? How about this one? There we go. Okay. So like if I want to get a new uncommon weapon, then I'm going to need these different materials, and right now I'm going to need 2 more of this one, 1 more of this one. So straight from this menu, I can pick which level or which stage I want to jump into where that is a possible drop, and I can go straight to the quest from here. They really are focusing on the crafting of better and better gear. The fact that you can go there from that menu is one of the single best design decisions they made with the game, quite frankly.
Piss off.
Well, fine then. Then you got this dude with an egg. I haven't actually done anything with him yet. You got this dude that lets you basically trade out things. I have yet to actually see a purchasing of diamonds in real life kind of thing. A microtransaction aspect to this game. But I know that it has microtransactions in the PC version, or had them at one point. There's just different currencies you can trade for different things. gold is what you're getting to start with, and then you use the gold to get your diamonds, and so on and so on. To buy skill runes, which help you level up, basically gives you an extra level beyond where you are. Getting raid gear. Eventually you will have a companion. You can get things for your companion character. All through that guy. Which again, so far does not have microtransactions for PlayStation. And then you got this dude back here, who, if there are runes, is sort of the rune guy. And then last but not least...
These eggs are so big.
I guess I should say 2. I haven't tried this out either. It's blocked from me at the moment. There's nothing for me to do with it. But last but not least, the ones I can show you, this guy is like the quest giver. Or the mission command dude. So like I'm on chapter 1. Okay, so I'll go to chapter 1. Here are all the different missions available. Each mission is going to have certain things you can do as your main objective. It will often have bonus objectives for other stars. Once you have gotten something to the 5-star level, you can dispatch a companion to go farm that material for you, but I don't have a companion yet. That doesn't happen until the end of chapter 7. Or I guess mission 7, so the end of chapter 1. And then you have things like this particular special mission. If a mission says special, there's only a limited number of times you can run it in a certain time frame. And it'll tell you, right? And each of these is going to tell you like what the drops could be, what you get on the first time you clear a mission, and so on and so on. I'm actually going to jump into one that'll probably kick my ass. Oh, maybe not. I'm ranked at 110 right now, and it recommends 130. I've heard of people doing it basically with half. But you'll notice it's got my potions ready, so I've got 2 different health potions ready to go. There are these feathers that if you die, you can use the feather and it brings you back to life right then, but they are limited. You start out with 10. I haven't used any yet. If I die, I just restart because the levels are pretty short anyway. You got your opening explanation that nobody really cares about. You can update your character or jump between the different builds. I've got all my builds as identical from the screen. You can jump to your potion loadout real quick from the screen, but otherwise, you dive in. This being a dungeon crawler type of game, without really the dungeons, if that makes sense. All of that sort of how the systems work, I think is kind of necessary before you even start doing a whole lot with the game. Quite frankly, they don't explain it very well at all within the game itself. You have to kind of figure it out. Okay, so here I am in the mission. There's going to be a time limit. I won't worry about the time limit just yet, but okay, so she's got this cool sword that's like a whip kind of thing. Above her head, the red line is her health. If I were to hold down the L1 button, like if she's dying or something, I had hold on L1 and then hit either square or X right now to get more health back, up to 5 times per mission. I have my different skills over here. Alright, so that was a health thing being used right there, right? I hit square. Okay, so you hit a whoosh and everything, and you see the health bar. Now, above, you see those blinking symbols. X is just your regular slash, that's why it's not up there. But square is going to be one of her first moves. And then that's going to have to recharge. It's going to have to refresh. Right? And if I press the button again, it tells me 5, 4, 3, how much time is left. Triangle is another ability. Circle's another ability. So each character has 3 abilities that are special and unique to them. And whether it's by blocking or attacking or whatever, it depends on the character. In this case, it's attacking. You can build up basically this purple aura around you that lets you enter a rage mode, which also, for that character, has 3 different attack abilities. And just makes it kind of an interesting experience. So let's see what Homeboy here has to say.
I've heard people say that there is an ancient relic near the camp that only a few men remember.
Little bit. I mean, the character models are all right. I was surprised at how good the character models tend to be, even though they don't actually move their mouths, especially on the first mission. The only thing that irks me about it a little bit is that you've got, well, 2 things. One, the pixelated aspect of it for shadows. But two, the fact that there's that black background with everything that's being said, which sometimes looks a little weird. But really, as varied as the color of the background sometimes is versus the color of the text, you kind of need it. I should be able to activate the machine with the rune that Paul gave me. Alrighty. Paul being the weird guy sitting in the corner. Now you notice the weird little triangle thing that was blocking this way has disappeared. Now I can move on. Camera-wise, I can either be basically inside her eyes, which is really freaking crazy and difficult, frankly, to play because your enemies are coming from all around you. Or you can be way up here. R2 is a dodge, R1 is a shield, or a block. Woo, okay. Health. Thank you. Trying to actually play instead of just talk. Alright, R1 lets me do a finishing move. When it's blinking, finishing moves give you a little bit of health back. But notice that now she kind of looks about the size, a little bit bigger than, I guess it would be about a 6-inch action figure type size. I'm thinking of the Black Series 6-inch Star Wars figures. Zoom in, and she's more around the size of, I don't know, Barbie-ish, maybe? Zoom in even more, and you're right behind her. And it's more of like the size of some of those like dolls that they have. Like I've seen stormtroopers they've made for Star Wars that like come up to like a kid's chest or an adult's waist. Feels like about the height here. I personally tend to prefer what you might call the Barbie height view. It's not too far away. You're close enough to see detail, but the enemies surrounding her aren't going to get lost in the shuffle. Okay, let's go kick some ass. You'll notice there aren't any drops when I defeat anybody. Like any loot that drops. The first time you play a level, it gives you a set amount of rewards of a set type. But then after the first time that you play, then when you play it, you get loot drops in the form of like these little treasure chest looking things that drop. I almost never... Okay, rage mode. Here we go. So now she's in rage mode. Now she's like... Chop, chop, chop. Boom. Her other rage mode ability is a circle... Where's the circle button? This thing, like a teleport attack. And you move a lot faster, and you notice that her character design is very different. Oh, man. I need to get in the habit of blocking. That's one thing I haven't really done is block. I tend to do a lot of dodging because I don't want to even take the small amount of damage that blocking requires. But I probably should. Okay, so it says, the little thing, it says R1. So I hold down R1. It processes. Let's say processing or collecting, depending on what you're trying to do.
I will survive this place.
I will survive. As long as I press R1, I know how. Whatever the fuck that was. And then once you move from one section to another, and so far all the lands look like this to me. They changed later, but Chapter 1 is all this background. You'll go to like these little portal things and hit R1, and it'll transport you to the next area. Loading screens aren't very long. What's up?
I now call it a relic, but the truth is that no one knows what it is.
No, honestly, no one knew what the hell was that. Great localization there, whoever made this in another country. Only Crazy Paul knew exactly what the machine does. Creepy, right? When the machine is turned on, Pretas go crazy and try to destroy it, as if the machine hurts them or something. It cannot be of us men. Who you calling a man? How does such an old ancient relic hurt Pretas? Rookie, my instinct tells me you should watch out, Paul. Something that's... Watch out for Paul? Watch Paul and be careful of him? I shouldn't watch out Paul. I'm not entirely sure what the hell that means. Something is off with him. Just like it's off with your speech there, buddy boy. Again, feels a lot like Moss or like Wayward Sky, in that you're up above the action. It's like you're in this weird playset almost environment. The downside, as opposed to those, being the fact that, yes, the camera is moving, and that can be a little disorienting. But you get used to it pretty quick, especially if you're in this or 6-inch figure mode. Ooh! These guys, if you see one of them, kill him fast. Because if you can kill him, then you get bonus stuff that's only available through killing him. Like, yeah, there we go. I'm told he appears randomly, but it seems like certain levels he appears pretty often. This is the first time I've played this one, so I wasn't really sure. In fact, I'm not even entirely sure how long the rest of this level even is. Ah, stop smacking me, you freaking... Alright, I'm going to go ahead and use one of my small health potions. Yeah, if it seems like there's repetitive enemy types, there are repetitive enemy types, but I'm also, again, not very far into the game at this point. Honestly, one of the toughest things for me to remember with the type of game this is don't use X to jump or to dodge, because X is attack. You have to get really good with just doing the dodge with the L2. And the dodge does have, notice there, a countdown, but a refresh, but not very long. Whereas your shield has one as well that's about the same length. So if you really get in a tight position, you can alternate between the two and still be okay. And if you're doing an attack, you can cancel an attack into a block if you need to. That way, it slows down the animation. Interesting. Oh, there's the other thing. I guess it said there were 3 of these, right? So this is 2. This is number 2. Uh-oh. Oh, holy balls. Okay, so don't walk into the energy beam. That would have been fantastic to know ahead of time. Finish your move on both of those. Okay. Processing. 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 Yep.
This was effortless in my standard.
Okay. Notice that where my head is, like I'm back here, kind of inside the scenery. But it's cool looking. I mean, it's one of those that's playing it on a 2D screen. It repeated on a 2D screen doesn't really do justice to the atmosphere of playing it in here. Like, this is a game I probably wouldn't have played on a TV. I might have played it on a portable console, like we just picked up a Switch. I might have played like this kind of thing on Switch. I might have played this kind of thing in VR, which I am. But would I have played it on a typical TV? Probably not. Butthole! Alright.
The shield is down. Commence attack on the next part of the level.
Which is probably the last part, because this is where the third of those things is. I walk up, I say, yeah, surely the idiots are going to start coming out at me. I killed your buddies, bro! Ow. I'm getting better at remembering to do finishing moves, so. Ah, son of a... Okay, yeah, and when a boss creature comes out, you're gonna see the life bar underneath. And the life bar goes through multiple possible colors that lets you know kind of like what phase of the battle you're in. Shit. A lot of it is basically dodging. They're aggroed, so they're gonna follow you. And you basically just stay the hell away, if at all possible. Give me some of that health back. Spasiba. Thank you. Alright, so now I gotta take out this jerkweed. That didn't do me any good. Oh, wait! Why is it saying miss? Why am I missing so damn much? Oh, is he dead now? Awesome. Frick. Processing. 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 Bizarre Paul's... Paul, comma, waited. Huh? Paul guides. I guess that's when you're supposed to do the little air quotes. Paul guides the Grail. Paul, comma, waited long to meet you. It only has a comma if you're talking to the other person whose name is Paul. Learn grammar. But, comma. No, the comma comes before but, jackass. There is. Check out that ellipsis. Is there such a thing in any language as an ellipsis that is at the height of the top of a lowercase letter instead of down where the periods go? I don't think there is. But there is no blood ellipsis to fill you. That woman. Find her. That is officially my sound for the ellipsis that somehow is floating in the air. Only way you become complete Grail. It's like this was written through voice recognition on a bad... I was about to say a bad Apple voice recognition, but Apple voice recognition does kind of suck. So it's like somebody... It's like William Shatner narrated the story through voice recognition into an iPhone. And they use that for the script. Only way you become complete Grail. Quest clear. R1. The golden one takes you out of the mission. And you get your quest clear screen that's going to tell you how long it took, how many Pretas, that's just what the villains are, how many enemies you killed, how much gold you acquired, how much stamina was recovered by your companion, if you have a companion, which I don't have yet. The first clear is always going to give you set rewards. In this case, it is one skill point, basically, so that I can upgrade a couple of recipes, looks like for earrings, and one recipe for something else. We'll have to take a look and see what that is. Or, no, I get there's 8 of something. Got the hidden reward by taking out that goblin dude with the little thing on his back that I pointed out. And then the bonus objectives, we'll look at in a second. I've got just the first one of those, which is whatever. And there aren't drop rewards on the first quest completion, but if it's a second completion, it would have it. I'll run through a quick other one to show you that. Clear detail. Activate the barrier stone. That's the main objective. That's done. Here's what you get on the first clear. Here's what the hidden reward was for the goblin. Here are the bonus objectives. Here are the ones you did. Here are the ones you didn't do. And here's what you get out of them. If you replay it, you don't get to get those same things, I don't think, again, as far as I recall. It's a matter of, like, if I got 2 stars now, 1 for just clearing the main objective and 1 for defeating the Green Goblin, then I can continue to do both of those things every time I replay it, but I'm only really going to get something new out of it if I do collect the Nightmare Heart, clear with 0.20 health, or 0.20, with plus 20% health, and then less than 3 times being in rage mode. Okay? Cool. And you click the button for camp and it sends you back to the main screen. But I may be able to craft something and show you that now. If not, I'll probably be pretty close to it.
There is just no end to them, Pretas.
No, you're right. There is no end to them. It's pretty grindy, eh? Mr. Crafter Man! Oh, I need to go talk to homeboy here. I'll be back, Crafter Man. I had to go talk to the weird Paul that talks in the floating ellipses that go real quick.
Paul likes
Paul likes runes! Paul is like the sloth of Preta.
Paul helps the Grails.
Hey, you guys! Paul, I'm telling you, bro, you don't need the f***ing comma after your name. Paul helps the Grail, unless the comma is part of your name. Is the comma part of your name? Is it like a Klingon thing with the apostrophe where you're supposed to make like a guttural sound? Is your name like Paul or something? Like not Paul, but Paul? Something's up with that. At least until it is full. I am Paul. Paul makes rune, the essence of our knowledge. Rune, comma, a rune, a great help to the Grail, air quotes. Come to Paul when Grail needs more power. Paul's alchemy has been activated. Paul dismantles the runes into powder or fuse the runes together to create a more powerful rune. Conversation with Paul ended. Report back to Captain Condor. Unlock contents. Runes. Runes can be upgraded or dismantled by Paul. I now have a rune. A rune for Wipeout. Okay, see ya, Paul. Paul has fallen really far from back when he was the Muad'Dib. Just say it. I mean, he seemed like he really took more enjoyment in life when he was leading the Fremen and Empire. Just a thought. Okay, so now, there we go. So I have new earring recipes. Recipes? Cool. Okay, so if I want to make an uncommon left ear earring... Oh, cool, I got a legendary earring recipe. I mean, I'm nowhere near having the shit to be able to make it, but I didn't realize I had a legendary. I'm just looking to see if there's anything I can actually make right now. Close. Ooh, I could do one of these. Oh, but it's a common weapon. I've already got an uncommon. I don't want to do that. I'll save those for later. Okay, so, yeah. So, okay, so earring recipe here, right? So, I've got everything I need from the top 2, the bottom 2, and the left one in the middle. That thing down at the bottom, if you have multiple so-called kits, you can use kits, and it will cut the amount of material you need for each requirement in half. And in the game, as it exists on Steam, with the microtransactions, the kits are things you can buy with real money if you want. Notice here I've got one that I still don't have everything from, so let's find out where, if anywhere, could I find this material. Let's jump into it, which I'm assuming is the same one I just did. It is. Okay, fine, so I can show you what a clear looks like. Cleared one looks like when you replay it, as far as the drops, okay? So apparently I must need an I think it's an uncommon earring tool, isn't it? I should check again, so I know what I'm looking for. I think it was green, but let's be on the safe side.
What needs to be made?
What needs to be made? Apparently earring. Okay, yes, I need 2 green hammer and scissors looking things, which is this, which is an uncommon earring tool. I need 2 of those. And if I go to this quest, notice that it's not one of the bonus objective ones. And I didn't get it on the first clear, right? But it is a drop reward that can happen, right? Though I may have to play it a couple times. How can we get more out of this? Collect the Nightmare Heart. I have no idea where you do that or what that is, so we'll just have to see. Clear with plus 20% health. I'm not sure what plus 20%... I mean, what exactly that means. Can you have more health than normal? Maybe there's a bonus thing. Maybe the Nightmare Heart gives you, like, extra health. And the last thing there is... less than 3 times in rage mode. That's no big deal. No big deal at all. Okay, so let's jump back in. Those are the only potions I have. Those are the best gear I have, so let's go straight into it. Notice my combat point is still at 110. That is based on my gear. And actually the very second or third thing that ever opened for me was this tutorial. But the tutorial says don't even try it until you're at 290. And it's a tutorial. What? So yeah, I'll try that at some point, but I think that's a little weird. And this is one you can do actually 3 times there. Okay, so let's do that same one again. This time I can show you how the drops work and the secondary clears work, and then we can pretty much call it a day. I just want to show you how it works, how the grinding works, in case this is something you're interested in. I don't tend to play these types of games very much, but I'm finding myself enjoying this in the little fits and starts and bursts. It's not as engrossing to me as something like, say, a Skyrim, which is the other thing that I'm really playing right now on VR and on Switch, because I'm a glutton for punishment. I just find that it's it's an enjoyable experience. Though it would be nice to have some guides to it. Yeah, whatever. I know. Go talk to Paul, the guy with the terrible grammar. Gotcha. So I'm flickering around to make sure I'm not missing anything, because I'm not sure what the Nightmare Heart is, unless it's a pickup. What is it? Oh, shit. I didn't realize you were back here. Okay. More of them. Whoa. Oh, that was just that thing forming. I was like, why did my chest just turn blue? There we go. Okay, so I killed some enemies. Now on my second run through, there'll be these chests that drop, and that's how I get my drops, my loot drops. But they don't happen at all on your first run through, because the first run through is to only give you that guaranteed loot that it lists on the screen before. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, it's that stupid link together shit again. Well, now that I know actually what it does, I can be sure not to constantly run into that stuff. Get away. Alright, and there's another loot box. Now I can turn this thing on. I may have to start using that further away, like 6-inch character instead of Barbie-sized ability, camera angle, just to not die. You'll notice here that that she's charged up for the rage mode. She's glowing with that pinkish purple stuff, but there's that limit on how many times you can use it to get one of the bonus objectives. So right now I'm just waiting. What's up, homeboy? Yeah, I know. Watch out, Paul! My name's not Paul. Damn. Go. I like that one. That's one I've actually updated. Oh shoot, I didn't even think about it. I didn't go use that skill point yet. I could have made her more powerful before starting the mission again. But my forgotten. Notice I also didn't run into the little goblin this time. Interesting. Maybe he'll show up elsewhere, or maybe he just won't show up at all, now that I've already got him. I think I'm going to try using whatever health potions I got left right before the end to see if maybe that's where that plus 20 thing comes from. Yeah, I know. I know. You guys are going to make your stupid little... Ugh. If she does a finishing move, I believe that animation makes her invulnerable temporarily. Now, if there is a power-up, it would be showing up in the level on like one of these little stands. It almost looks, it kind of looks like one of these, except it's taller and will have a little thing in it. But I haven't seen one. Now, I don't know what this is. Whoa, 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 whoa. What this is, though. Like, what is that? Do I need to kill an enemy while they're standing on it or something? As if I need to do some kind of, like, ritual? I don't know what it is. Because obviously it's something. Nope. I went rage mode just to see if rage mode activates it, but it doesn't. And it's only the first time I've done rage mode. As long as I do it less than 3, I'm fine.
Mission is almost complete.
Unless that's just telling me where this portal is going to exist, because I don't see it underneath now. That's weird, though.
Rest to the fallen soldiers.
Not at all sure what it's wanting me to collect. I can't go across there. Okay. We'll see. Thank you for the help. Ooh. Nope, can't do anything there either. I thought for a second I'd figured it out. Figured out some kind of secret. Anything over here? It's not really a lot of exploration to the game, that's why I'm kind of wondering. Yeah, let me wait before I go over there. Is there anything over here to collect? Does not appear so. Okay, whatever. Let's do this. I think the fact that I keep hitting their little energy wire, though, when I do some of those special attacks is what's screwing me up. Like I'm hitting the little energy thingy, and in doing so, I'm damaging myself. Alright, boss time. Alright, homie, it's just you and me. Actually, I wonder if when I defeat him, if the thing that's going to be in his chest is his heart. Because wasn't it called Nightmare Heart? Oh, frickin' A! Is he dead? He's dead. Ah, there we go. I bet you that's his heart right there. Yep, collect Nightmare Heart. Okay, so I just couldn't do it on the first one. Or if I did, I just missed the fact that he dropped the heart. Like an idiot. Here we go! You know what, Bizarre Paul? I had enough of yo, Grandma. Yeah! I'm trying to get me to a point of like super health left. I don't know how to make it that plus 20 health thing. So I didn't get the hidden reward, whatever that was. I think that's actually the kill the goblin thing. I still missed one of the bonus objectives, but I got 3 drop rewards. So check rewards. I got 3. Oh yeah, I got the things that I needed, it looks like. So drop rewards. We got common earring tool, an uncommon earring tool, weapon extract. The necklace ore I already had, or at least I got some more of, I guess. I didn't defeat the Green Goblin this time, but I already did before. Clear with 20 plus health, or plus 20 health, whatever the hell that means, I did. Maybe that means clear with... Maybe what they're saying is clear with not plus 20 health, but 20 plus health. As in clear it with more than 20% of your health left. But that still seems kind of weird because I thought I did that last time. Less than 3 times in rage mode, done. Awesome. So I believe I should be able to go craft new earrings. Which increases my level of some kind.
What do you want?
Boy, don't you use that tone with me. Yep, I got everything I need. Okay, so I have my earring ore. I have my earring essence and my earring cloth. And my earring leather and my earring extract, all of which are common. I have both of my necessary uncommon earring tools. I'm not going to use a kit, so unless there's something else that I can do, I'm going to go ahead and do that one. Let me double check and make absolutely certain. Alright, let's make an uncommon earring. For my left ear. I went from my old rank 10 to my new rank 40. I now have evasion better. My threat level has jumped. It is part of a set called Serenity, and it gives me a price of 6,000 gold if I ever want to sell it versus my common one for 3,000. Equip. Sweet! Unfortunately, I can't just immediately go to my equip screen. I gotta go over to the equipping table if I'm not starting a mission immediately.
Any new recipes?
You know what? That guy just got an attitude. Alright, yeah, there we go. But then I have to go to each of my loadouts that I want to use it with and equip it for each loadout. Right now, all my loadouts are the same, so I don't really care. But yeah, pretty cool. And I've got some gold. I guess I could go sell my common ones or see if the guy will buy my common ones. That's companion stuff down there. Did I want to do something else while I was in there? Yes, I did. I think this is where I do it. No, it was in the skill training is where I do it. That's why I didn't do it, because it wasn't on that screen.
You look like a
Derpa frickin' derp. There we go. I've got one thingy to spend. See, there's 1 out of 3. It's how many I own. So, like, each of these started at rank 1 out of 5, and I've spent 1 on each. I actually really like the wipeout skill. That's the walking, spinning blade thing. I'm not a big fan of Shadow's skill step, but that might be a good thing to try. Oh no! I could add 11 attack damage to this for tactical step versus 8 attack damage. Yeah, we'll do tactical step. Actually, no. I'm going to stick to my guns and what I think is actually the best thing. We're going to use Wipeout. Okay. And unfortunately, again, I have to do that for every single flippin' loadout. And save it for every frickin' loadout. But it's okay, because it's saved now.
Maybe I'm old, or maybe I need more training.
Alright, so anyway, that is Preta Vendetta Rising. Again, it's on PlayStation VR, playable only in VR on PlayStation. You could play it on PC with Vive and whatnot, and play it on PC just on the regular screen. Grindy, but enjoyable dungeon crawler. Again, this has been Nathan P. Butler. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll be back with more PlayStation VR Let's Plays as more games are added to my library.